The NFL season is finally here, so make sure you're ready with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. It gives you the most live NFL games all in one place, exactly what you need to make your Sundays more magical. Sign up today at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
This episode is brought to you by Honda. When you test drive the all-new Prologue EV, there's a lot that can impress you about it. There's the class-leading passenger space, the clean, thoughtful design, and the intuitive technology. But out of everything, what you'll really love most is that it's a Honda. Visit honda.com/EV to see offers.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
What's good, boys and girls? Two-footed extra. Let's catch up with today's news and gossip. So, big news in the world of women's football as legendary Alex Morgan is retiring from professional football. She is pregnant with her second child and has decided that she's going to call it a day on what is a remarkable career. 2 World Cups and an Olympic gold. She has been one of the standout players for well over a decade now. 35 years of age, she's decided that that's enough. 224 caps for the US women's national team, 123 goals. Versatile player. Played for Spurs briefly. Largely played for Orlando Pride over the last number of years, I think. But has most recently been with San Diego Wave. A loss to the game without question. Probably had another 2 or 3 years ahead of her, but pregnant now, so can't play, obviously. Has to go through the whole maternity phase, have the child, and then the aftermath is the getting back to playing shape to really probably come back for 1 year. And it seems like she just doesn't want to do that. So who can blame her? Who can blame her? That'll be 2 young kids. She'll probably want to stay home and look after them. I think her daughter is 4. And then this kid will be born next year. So the daughter will be 5, probably just starting school. So it can be a tough enough time for parents. So it's understandable. A truly great career and congrats to her on that. Andy Robertson has said that Scotland must perform to start feeling the love again from the fans after a poor Euro 2024 campaign. I think that's very fair. Emma Hayes has said that the men's game is not ready for a female manager. Emma Hayes is probably the top female manager in women's football. So if anyone was going to do it, it probably would have been her. She's obviously just taken on to manage the US team. Maybe after that, maybe she'll go into club management over there. I think it's more likely that we see it happen in a country like America, in the MLS, or maybe even in whatever the next league is down. Is it the UWSL or something like that? I think it's more likely in US, I can't remember what it's called. It's more likely in that league than in the Premier League. I think it's a long way from happening in the Premier League. Even though we do have the odd poor manager in the Premier League, they've largely always been good somewhere else. So, I don't see it happening anytime soon. In the Premier League, in Serie A, in La Liga, I just don't see it. The only time it's happened in the English football pyramid was when Hannah Dingley was the caretaker at Forest Green for a month or however long that was, and no games were being played. It was during the summer break. Trey Hume has been announced as the captain of Northern Ireland for this Thursday's game. He's obviously been very, very good for Sunderland since joining them a couple of years ago. And Michael O'Neill says that he deserves this, that he is a leader, and that he's one of the people he's assessing for the long term to become the captain of Northern Ireland. Let's see, what else do we have here? There's a piece about England and the fact that they're beginning a new era with Lee Carsley in charge. Obviously, he's only a caretaker manager, so no guarantee he's the long-term fit. But I think if he does well, I think it's very likely they will give him the job. I think they'll have looked at what took place with Spain, with De La Fuente, who didn't have a great CV as a manager, wasn't a big name as a coach, but was very highly respected for the work he'd done with underage players. Lee Carsley is very highly respected for the work he's done with England in the 21s. And he knows a lot of these players. He's had them at under 21 level. He was a good player in his own right. He played in the Premier League for a long time. So I do think some of the older players in the squad will know of his record as a player. He wasn't a great player by any stretch, but he did have a good career. So I do think he'll be able to command respect. I think he'll have won over a lot of the young players with what he did with them at underage level. And I think it's very possible he is the fellow that gets the job. There will be, until it's announced permanently, there will be a lot of talk about Eddie Howe. There'll be a lot of talk about Graham Potter. But it's Carsley's job to lose, is the way I look at it. It's Carsley's job to lose. Chelsea have announced their European squad for the Conference League. Ben Chilwell has been left out, unsurprising, given he is being frozen out at Chelsea. Romeo Lavia and Wesley Fofana have been left out to manage their workload. Now, I think that's a mistake, because I think that's the best place for them to get games as they work their way back to fitness. In particular, Lavia, given you have Enzo and Caicedo, I would have thought Lavia, in need of minutes, would have made a lot of sense in the Conference League team. Cole Palmer has also been left out, and allegedly that's also to manage his workload. And I think that's fair, because you need him playing every single Premier League minute, because you're garbage without him. So I understand that one. Cesare Caicedo, Carney Chukwuemeka and Mark Gui have been selected in place of the three senior players who are being managed. The Chilwell thing, I just don't know. It's unlikely he's going to play for them this season. He's training away from the group. I know he's currently in kind of a rehab stage, but apparently there's no interest in ever reintroducing him to the first team. Not sure what he's done to Enzo Maresca to warrant this, but this is what they want to do. Chelsea still have 36 senior players on their books, which is farcical, really. Tottenham have been forced to leave Jed Spence off their list because of their lack of club-trained options. They've only been able to name 23 players instead of 25 in their squads. Unfortunately, Spence misses out, but is part of the first-team picture again this year, and will probably play a bit more in the league and in the domestic cups. Sergio Reguilon has also been left out, but it's likely because there's still a chance he leaves before the window closes. So that one is a bit more understandable. Where are we? Aston Villa ready to pay $250,000 to sign Brazil forward Gabi Nunes for their women's team. So a lot of money in the women's game. Now, Myra Ramirez, who Chelsea signed, is the British record at $384,000. But still a lot of money. Still a lot of money. But it's great to see these bigger clubs putting a lot of money back into the women's game and allowing their clubs to sign higher class players and building up the Women's Premier League. What's this now? Chelsea chief executive Chris Jurasek has left the club after only 15 months in the role. He was brought in to oversee the business side of the club in May of 2023, but has decided to leave. Interesting. You'd wonder what's gone on there. He might have just seen what a mess the place is with Todd Bowley having absolutely no idea what he's doing. Morgan Gibbs-White has said that the England job suits Lee Carsley perfectly. Gibbs-White played for him with the under-21s and knows him very well. And Morgan Gibbs-White is long overdue that call-up. He has been brilliant since going to Forest. 6 England players have been nominated for the Ballon d'Or. Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka and Cole Palmer. Lamine Yamal has been selected at 17. He's just turned 17 as well. He might be one of the youngest players ever nominated for it. I've no issue with Bellingham being there, no issue with Foden being there. I don't think Palmer should be there. In a really good season, don't get me wrong, but a 30-man shortlist is farcical. But so I suppose if you looked at 30, maybe Palmer's fine. Saka, I think that's okay. Thought he was really good last year. Rice is a City inclusion. I mean, Kane scored a bunch of goals, but won nothing. And that was at a team that win everything every year. Did get to the Euros final, I suppose. So that's probably why. But he had horrible Euros, as did Foden. Rice wasn't good at the Euros. Bellingham wasn't really good at the Euros. Did score a couple of vital goals, obviously. Probably that's why he got nominated. Saka had a pretty poor Euros. Palmer actually did well at the Euros when he got minutes. It's the first time since 2003, that there will be no Lionel Messi and no Cristiano. Now, Cristiano had no business being nominated in any of the last 5 years, but, you know, it is what it is. But Messi, like, he won the Copa America and he had a really good year for Inter Miami. I kind of feel like he probably should have been nominated. No Karim Benzema, no Luka Modric, so we're guaranteed a first-time winner. Kobe Minu and Alejandro Garnacho were nominated for the Copa Trophy, which is awarded to the best young player. Let's see. Emi Martinez and Georgi Mamardashvili are on the list for the Yashin Trophy. And Pep Guardiola is up for Coach of the Year. The ceremony to announce the winners is the 28th of October. So the full list of Ballon d'Or nominees. Jude Bellingham, fair. Absolutely fair. Had a great season last year with Real and scored big goals despite not playing all that well at the Euros. Ruben Diaz is a silly inclusion. Phil Foden had a really good year last year, so I don't have an issue with that. Fede Valverde, absolutely. Emi Martinez, I mean, for Ballon d'Or, no. I'm sorry, no. Erling Haaland, I mean, he missed a chunk of last season. Didn't play at the Euros. Nico Williams, very inconsistent at club level, but was great in the Euros, but probably shouldn't be up. Granit Xhaka had a really good season for Leverkusen, but I mean, for Ballon d'Or, Artem Dovbyk for Ballon d'Or. Toni Kroos, no issue there at all. I'd actually love to see him win it as a kind of career capping moment. Vinicius Jr. is who I would say is the favourite to win it. I would not have had Dani Olmo on the list based on his performances for Leipzig last year. Florian Wirtz, I don't have an issue with. Martin Odegaard, I don't have an issue with. Mats Hummels is a laughable inclusion. No issue at all with Rodri, best player in the Premier League last year, brilliant in the Euros. Kane, like I say, fair enough, but like, really? Rice is foolish. Vitinha is nonsense. Cole Palmer, just about. Danny Carvajal, I don't mind it, but let's be serious here for a moment. Lamine Yamal, okay. Saka, sure. Çalhanoğlu, yeah, no issue. Saliba is laughable. Mbappe, no problem. Lautaro Martinez, yeah, absolutely. Ademola Lookman, like Jesus wept. Antonio Rudiger, really? And Alejandro Grimaldo. No Virgil van Dijk, easily the best centre-back in Europe last season. He doesn't make the Ballon d'Or list. I don't actually have a gripe with Salah not making it because he wasn't particularly good in the back half of last season when he came back from injury and he missed a chunk of time. But no Virgil van Dijk. Like, Diaz is in it. Saliba's in it, and neither of them held a candle to him last season. Like, if Saliba's there, Gabriel should be there, because Gabriel was better than him last season. Gabriel's a better defender. This list is farcical. Absolutely farcical. Juan Mata is heading to Australia to join Western Sydney Wanderers on a 1-year contract. He's been a free agent since January when he left Vissel Kobe. And I think this is brilliant. I think it's brilliant. I really hope he settles there, does well, plays a couple of seasons. I think it's fantastic for the A-League to get a player of his caliber, admittedly at 36 and well past his best, but he's still a very fun player to watch. He's a brilliant passer of the ball. He can still add a lot. His time at Vissel Kobe was, by all accounts, a bit of a disaster. I think he played a handful of games there. He made just one appearance. So he joined on the 3rd of September, played once, got a league title medal, played for 10 minutes, got a league title medal, and then left when his contract expired. So he signed for like a 4-month deal or whatever. But he played for Galatasaray and done pretty well there. Obviously, his last couple of years at United were largely forgettable, but still a really good player. Always been a favourite of mine. Just a shame he played for Chelsea and United. Couldn't have played for anyone else, no? Funnily enough, played for Chelsea and United, and the league titles that he's won with Galatasaray and now Vissel Kobe are the first league titles he's won in his career. You have that. Right, back after the break with the news. Or with the gossip, I should say.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Overnight, Dunkin's pumpkin spice coffee has sent folks into a cozy craze. I'm Lauren LaTulip reporting live from home in my hand-knit turtleneck that my Nana made me. Cinnamony.
The home with Dunkin' is where you want to be.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Right, welcome back. So, on today's gossip, Real Madrid plan to make a move for Rodri at the end of this season. This is how Real do things. They leak it to either AS or Marca just after the end of a transfer window that the following season they're going to go for a certain player. And then they will use those publications throughout the year to ramp things up and try and turn the player's head. There has been talk that City want to sign Rodri to a new deal. That seems to have gone a little bit quiet. But it would not surprise me if this ends up coming to fruition. Now, I don't think Real need him because they have Tchouaméni, they have Camavinga. They're well stocked at the defensive midfield position, but neither of them are as good on the ball as Rodri. Now, I think Camavinga could be. I think he could be great on the ball. Tchouaméni's really good on the ball, but Rodri is exceptional. And Rodri gives them what Tchouaméni gives them and what Toni Kroos gives them. He's not as good a passer as Kroos, but similar enough in terms of style and close enough in terms of level to make it a decent argument. So I do wonder if that means one of Camavinga or Tchouaméni might become available. Could be interesting. Istanbul Besiktas are one of 4 Turkish clubs who want to sign Kieran Trippier on loan with an option to buy. I would assume the others are Trabzonspor. Besiktas was linked. Fenerbahce was linked. I think Trabzonspor might be the other one. Could be Galatasaray, though. Galatasaray are interested in a loan for Casemiro, but Manchester United would have to cover some of his $300,000 a week salary, which also makes sense. Saudi Pro League clubs could be interested in a cut price move for the midfielder in January, meaning they'll offer like 5 to 10 million for him, probably, which is, to be fair, about all United could expect. Casemiro is set to reject interest from elsewhere as he's determined to fight for his place at United. He's determined to get every penny they own, is the truth of it. Newcastle ended their pursuit of Mark Way to show that the club would not be taken advantage of. That's laughable. Laughable. They were still trying to get it done on the final day of the window. They didn't get him because Palace put the price up. And put it up to a point where Newcastle couldn't afford to do it. Real Madrid defender Dani Carvajal says playing in the United States before the end of his career is a possibility. Yeah, I could see it, for sure. Could definitely see him going over there for a couple of years. Don't know how long he has left at Real. There's been rumours they want Trent. That would mean the end of Carvajal as a starter. Let's have a look and see what his contract shows at the moment. Dani Carvajal contracted until 2025. I could see him maybe doing a 1-year contract with a 1-year option. That would take him, he's 32 now, 33. That would take him to 34, potentially 35. I could see that happening. He does a 1-year extension with a club option maybe on the second, and if he finds a move after that first year to the US or to Saudi or wherever, similar to Nacho, they just agree to part ways. Everton are considering reappointing David Moyes as manager. No, they're not. They might get there, but at the moment, that's not true. Roma are set to sign Mats Hummels, who is a free agent after leaving Borussia Dortmund. I believe that deal is now done. Roma have had some Germans over the years. They had Rudi Voller back in the day. They've had Rudiger in recent years. Hummels is washed, but in Serie A for a year, maybe 2 years, it's possible he does all right. He's capable of having a really good performance as long as he's well rested. So if you just plan to play him maybe 30 times across the full season, you'll get probably 20 good performances out of him. If you play him every single week, you're going to get catastrophic performances some weeks. All you need to do is look at the last couple of years with Dortmund. He had some absolute stinkers in there. But he had a good run in the Champions League last year and fooled people into thinking he was still an elite defender. Right, folks, that's going to do me for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.